too long. Lady A, how was your day today?
Busy. First day
Well,
of school, back at work after several days, a million emails to catch up on, all the things. But I am so happy to be here with you all this evening.
appreciate it. Well, at least you can say you made it, huh?
I made it.
He said bye. He said bye.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I sat around today. I sat around today for a large portion of today, trying to get. I've been trying to. I got Kiana's lemonade truck. We're trying to. They would call. Ain't nobody call me all day. Trying to get Kiana's lemonade truck up and going, and trying to get the plumbing. The plumbing is the last thing I got. I finished everything else up, and so I've been looking on YouTube to try to figure out how to do this stuff, so I can get it knocked out.
Look at that fresh you. Look at that. That's cute. Your hair is cute.
Oh, thank you so much. What did we do?
Is that Dallas Duke?
And maps and MapQuest. Oh my gosh. I don't know what we did.
You say what is what, Ken?
I said, is that Dallas Duke?
Yeah.
Dallas dude. Actually had an afro.
We are ready.
So it starts off, we're going to do a quick introduction of ourselves, a small introduction of you guys, and then we're just going to get you guys to introduce who you really are outside of what we say. And then we're going to talk about, we got 4 main questions, the ones that I sent you earlier. But if we differentiate off of them, it is what it is. We just kind of play it by ear.
Yeah.
Bounce some stuff off.
Have fun with it.
I try not to be on here long. But I'm long-winded like your pastor, like your husband right there.
You got more than one clothes.
Yes.
Hey, I got about 4 clothes on them too. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I felt like I was in a Baptist church on Sunday. Yeah.
Definitely had 3 clothes on Sunday. Yeah.
All right. So tell me. All right. We're gonna do a quick introduction.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I'm Kelvin.
And I'm Latanya.
And we are hold on. We are
The
Dooleys. Yes. So welcome to
Marriage, Business, and Ministry.
We're still trying to get that thing down pack. A lot of I jumped the gun and she come right behind me, so I got to start slowing down a little bit on that. Tonight is going to be one of those nights. We have one of the most phenomenal couples that I have the privilege to meet. I met that old round-head husband of yours, Pastor, about 10 years ago. I never forget the first time I met him. He walked into the shop with his chest bowed out saying, I heard y'all trying to steal my barbers from me. Ever since then, we've been on 100.
I heard that.
Yeah.
It ain't never changed from day one up until now. He poked his chest out and said, "Man, I heard y'all two want to steal my barbers." I was like, "Who are you, man?" I own the barbershop down there. I said, "Bro, I don't even know. I just walked in the barbershop. I don't even know nothing about that."
Yeah.
But my partner could have did it though. He could have been the one that said. But have had an opportunity, man, to spend time with the man of God. I remember the time me, him, and Chris Carrington. I mean, not Chris Carrington, but Keith Carrington went to Mango and had the first opportunity to sit, and I had an opportunity to get to know his character for the first time. And it was like 3 businessmen sitting around. We chopped it up, talking about what the future looked like, each entity, and I got a chance to really know the man of God before he became the man of God. But I knew his character, and his character has always been upfront, straightforward, honest, don't bite his tongue, which is my kind of guy. My kind of guy. So for those of you who don't know, this is one of the up and coming, outstanding pastors of the 7 cities.
Man,
he's going to take over. Yes. And listen, he been fussing at me. I probably almost cussing at me under his breath for about 3 years about why I didn't come, why I didn't bring my family to the church. I didn't realize. I didn't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't know that the ministry. I did not know, man. I'm not gonna even lie to you. I didn't know what was in store until I really started coming on a consistent basis.
Wow.
I knew who he was, but I didn't know the anointing that the man of God had on. He been preaching, me and him been preaching to each other even before he accepted the call. He was always talking trash right here on the side of the building right here. He always left a word, that can preach, that can preach.
Right.
We call that BP, before pastor.
That's what it is. Before pastor.
Yeah.
We got pastor. So what is do we go first, lady, or we go what is the title? I want to make sure that we address it properly.
Lady Ace or Aisha is fine.
Lady Asia.
Aisha.
Aisha. I've always been calling you Aja for all the years I've been knowing you.
That's pretty.
So because of the confusion,
say again.
Because of the confusion, we just narrowed it down to Lady Ace.
Lady.
Yeah.
That's what I hear everybody say when they come to the church.
Difficult for some people.
Right. So the pastors of the River of Life. Is that Chesapeake? Is that Virginia Beach or Chesapeake?
Yes,
The River of Life in Chesapeake. We have Pastor Antoine and Lady A. Newsom. Welcome.
Thank you.
Man, I feel so privileged. I got celebrities on. Second time. I got second person.
Wow. Prestige.
Cut it out.
We are privileged to be here this evening.
We want to say thank you all for having us on your platform. We tune in every week to hear what the topics and everything that you all come up with, and we personally admire you all as a couple as well, watching you from afar and also seeing you build a empire, a personal Chick-fil-A empire that y'all building, with nobody else food tasting like how your stuff tastes. When you say you can copy my style, what's your quote?
Never my respect. You can copy the style.
I love that.
I love it. So we just want to say thank y'all for having us here tonight, and y'all could have chose anybody else to talk to tonight or to have on your platform, but we want to say thank you for us being in your spirit to have us to share with y'all tonight. So thank y'all again.
So do us a quick favor and give us a quick introduction of who you guys are, and then we'll do another introduction of what the platform is about, and then we'll just dive right in.
I'm a local here in the Hampton Roads area. My wife is originally from Chicago area, which is AKA Chirac.
Chirac.
Yes. So, but I'm born and raised here in Chesapeake, Virginia, and just being a church boy all my life. My father was pastoring the church for over 20 some years, and after he passed away, the church was like pretty much in limbo in what was the next, how tomorrow looks. I did everything that I can think of to, because I had already made a law and rule in my life that I would never, watching everything my parents went through, the word never, N-E-V-E-R, never, ever looking to pastor a church at all. And so we had certain meetings, and we had town hall meetings and with the church, and trying to get their opinion and what the next move should be like. And long story short, God himself would not let me rest for about 2 weeks. I was fighting, man. I'm talking about, I had a personal Jonah experience. I was fighting, did not want to do it. Mm-hmm. And I just came home one day, and I was tired of not sleeping. I was tired of not eating, because God would not let nothing. I'm a diabetic. I need to eat. My numbers were staying like awesome. It was probably the best 2 weeks my numbers been without taking no meds. I couldn't put it under my body. God would not let me eat or drink. Seriously, he made me feel so uncomfortable, and I couldn't sleep. And one day I just broke down and I just cried to my wife and I said, hey, I'm going to do what God is telling me what I have to do, not that I want to do it. So I'm the different one, that I didn't have my finger on the text, couldn't wait for somebody to fall out and pass away. And yes, it's my turn. I was the guy like, bro, I got everything. I got access to everything in the world to do it, but didn't want to do it. And but one thing I love about my wife, and that's why I love this platform tonight, what she did was she literally scrapped her boots up and was like, hey, if you in, I'm in. And that's what I'm very appreciative of. But I'm going to pass over to her. That's a little bit of my background towards this situation, pastoring, about me. But I'm now pass it to my wife so she can tell you a little bit more about herself.
So I grew up in the Chicago area, as mentioned. I first came to Virginia because somebody told me Virginia was live.
I don't know who
and
told
as an 18-year-old, that sounded good to me. And so I first came to Virginia from that area. In the 90s. I'm gonna date myself. So in the 90s, let's just put it that way, to come to Hampton. And then I realized they lied, and Virginia wasn't that live. Went back to Chicago, was working there, and fate, like the job I was working for, had a location here in Chesapeake, and I took a promotion, and I came here in 2006. I never thought I would come back after being here for school, and I came back in 2006, and I've been here ever since. So Virginia is definitely my home. It's my second home. And I think I met Antoine in 2010. Again, BP. So I didn't marry Pastor. I married Twanberg, last name, first name.
Twanberg.
The guy you met.
Right.
Back then. And so we met in 2006. I think we married I came in 2006. We met in 2010. And then we married in 2013.
Yep.
And we took over the church in
18.
Yeah, it was the dad passed away at the end of 2018.
So we took over like
Thanksgiving. 19. Yeah. So really the very starting January on paper is when we officially took over the ministry, did a name change, and Pastor BP became pastor. It was on him. And though he's being modest though, because even though, as you mentioned, before pastor, he say that'll preach. He was sending messages to his dad, who was pastoring at the time, to other friends he knew that were in ministry. He would wake up with God and a word in his belly. And because he wasn't pastoring at the time, he was still giving away words. He was giving away free game.
I was bootlegging my sermons, you know what I'm saying?
Matter of fact, that's what he used to tell me. He's a bootleg for you. What's right out here, man?
And on our first day, he told me that he was led to be in ministry, that he felt like he was called to pastor. Now, it happened so suddenly. I think both of us were at least I'll speak for me. I believed him when he said it, especially after knowing him, and you know when God is in somebody. And like I said, he mentioned it first date and all those things. I think I thought that I would see the progression of that happening, like, oh, okay, we're co-pastors somewhere, or there's this kind of evolution that leads to that. And that just wasn't our story. It was kind of like, okay, tomorrow.
Yeah. What was crazy, and
this is what's happening.
and for the audience to get a better little background story of it is age to us now because it's like 7 years ago. But to update the audience, the quick version of it, my father actually committed suicide on a Sunday morning. And yes, a pastor, and he actually decided to take his own life. And so I was at the club that Saturday night. I woke up drunk as a skunk, or hungover. I was still on the organ though. I was going to church. I was playing the organ. I was gonna go to church, and I went to church. And my sister called me screaming to the top of her lungs. because her and my aunt found him in the house. And that day, and it was crazy because that same week, God had came and said something to my ear, said, "Get ready, you're about to start pastoring." And I egged it. I was like, nah. I was like, where? I'm not gonna go start no church. My pops, he okay over there. So I'm looking around like, where's the hole that I will, fit in? Didn't see it. And lo and behold, like my wife said, just wake up, go to bed one way, go to bed in your world,
right,
and wake up in the kingdom. I mean, that's what happened. I mean, for real.
Exactly how it happened.
And I was fighting it. I did, like I said, I didn't want to do it because I was still choosing to live my lifestyle how I wanted to live, and I was fine with it. And I was cool. I was like, God, matter of fact, and this was crazy too. It was another twist to it. So our realtor, we was in the process about to buy a house.
I remember that.
She was selected to be on the show House Hunters on HGTV. And so she called us. She was like, hey, look, HGTV was like, this is the price bracket y'all need to be in. They wanted a black couple. Y'all fit everything. She like, Twan, you so crazy. And your wife feed off your energy. Like, y'all will be great for the show. So she was like, look, this is the information. Y'all need to contact them. It was like, me and my wife looking at each other like, we just want to try to buy a house. We ain't trying to do all the TV stuff. We fine. So she kept, like, come on, y'all the right couple. So we did it. We called them. They made us do certain things. We did an interview, like a Zoom interview with certain producers and stuff in Hollywood. We had to do a walkthrough in our own house to act like this was our first time walking through our own property. They just did like it was auditions, I guess. Yeah. And they was like, yo, so they sent us the email on we was doing something. They sent us an email and it was like, hey, congratulations, y'all, episode number so and so. And so we was like, what? We was like, oh man, we made the show. And so we had a ball. We taped all around Hampton Roads, ended up at Top Golf, Chesapeake, Jubilee site out here in Chesapeake. Fans was going crazy. We couldn't even take. We had to do it over because they yelling out HGTV because the people had the HGTV stuff. They had the cameras everywhere. It was electrifying. I would not do that again.
Hey, lady, hey, you believe him?
Yes.
Yes.
It took us 5 days.
It was a lot of work for nothing.
26 minutes. 5 days of filming for 26 minutes. And then we had so much good stuff. I was telling them, oh, y'all got to keep that one. That was a good one. And we look at the show, none of the good stuff was up there. I said, oh man, I would never do that again. Oh my God. But we had a ball. But so going to, I know I bounced off, but this is the point I'm making. We aired on Thanksgiving night. That's their biggest night. So after the rivalry games, Cowboys, Redskins, all that good stuff go off air, late night, like at 10 o'clock at night, the new episode premiered. So we had like a little watch party after the Thanksgiving. It was fun. Family and friends was here, and we watched it. And so it was a highest of high. Thursday night, highest of high. We like, oh my God. That Sunday morning, that's when everything happened, and our life just changed suddenly. Yeah. So my point was, I'm like, yo, I'm in my dream. I'm in my house. Anybody can go. Anybody watching, you can go look at the house and everything if you want to go there. It's public information there. So we already taped it, so you can come see our house. But I'm like, yo, we good. I got my house. I got my cars. We fine. We got good careers. We fine. We good as a couple. We set. And I don't need nothing else. I didn't need church. So my angle is church never been the come up thing for me. And that's never been for us, rather. That's never been our element or dynamic of why we're here. So
meaning that you didn't want to do it for some kind of financial.
No, it wasn't for a financial gain. It was not. That's not what our approach was to this. Again, I'm fighting not to do it. And so woke up that day, like I said, Kev, bro, pastor. That's how it went down. It's been 7 years ago.
Man, wow. I remember day one. I came during the first year. I think I came one time. I think after Curly was singing or something, I came the following Sunday. Okay, I came the following Sunday, just poke my head in, show love. Yeah, and then what? 6 and a half years later, we popping up after being fussed at. Why you choose that?
Yeah.
Why you not over here with us?
Yeah.
Glad you came eventually.
Yes.
Eventually we got there, huh? Well, on this platform right here, we talk about the it's called Marriage, Business, and Ministry, and we talk about the ups and downs of being married in whatever the platform is that you're on. Like us being restaurateurs, business owners, advocates such as that, and then you guys now in a pastoral role, which is what I've been wanting to get to from probably for about a year. I really couldn't find, I was trying to find some local pastors in the area that could come on and talk about the ups and downs of operating as a married couple in a pastoral role, not just in ministry, but in a pastoral role, because the weight is so heavy on the pastor. And I'm sure you know, Lady A, that the congregation pulls more on the leader sometimes, and because of that, it can be, I don't know, you guys got more stories than I do, it can become extra weight because the distractions of sometimes I need my husband and I need you to take the pastor role off and let whatever the congregation need, they can wait till tomorrow. But I need my husband right now. But he might be like, their souls are attached to us right now. Let me do this ministry thing right quick, and then I'll come right, because it's just like me and this. Man, I got to get this. They asking questions about how to grow their business and what the scaling look like. Sweetheart, I could be husband as soon as I'm done with this. So I understand that those type of roles. So that's what we want to talk about tonight. And one of the first things I want to ask you guys is, this is going to be a crazy one, but I know you got a good answer. Is pastoring easy?
No. Pastoring is not easy. I'm gonna say this real quick, that this is not the season to go into pastoring if you called to preach.
No, that's good.
Like, y'all got to catch that piece.
I got it.
You can't be called to preach and think that you should be able to go pastor under just being called. This is now a time in life on this earth, you got to be chosen. The Bible says that. It says many are called, few are chosen. And it really that chosen piece, because chosen piece, being chosen really gets you the extra gift and anointing and ability that God will get you through things and get you across certain humps, get you because Bishop, shout out to our bishop, our pastors is Bishop Kim Brown, W. Brown, and Elder Valerie Brown. We are under the Mount Global Fellowship, and so we have gotten great training and tools for us personally, mentally, spiritually, and also tools to take to our local church as well. One thing Bishop Brown said to us, and this blessed me, it was so something, it was a one-liner. He said, pastoring is being okay, being taken advantage of.
Wow.
And if you can handle that piece, you got a chance in making it. But you can't just have call oil at this day of time, because like I said this Sunday, first of all, you're not a person's only pastor.
Right.
This day of time, so you know, when my father and them did it, and my grandparents and people down from the root of our family, they did it, and those people that they had, I almost wish I could go back and pastor during that time, because knowing that how it works now. That time was great, man. These people came to church. They came to church.
Right.
Church. Yeah, guess what? And they came to church. And so now this day of time, man, you can have a good Sunday and you be like, oh man, the Lord is moving. And then the next week you can have a piece of timberweed roll through your church. Like, it's almost like they got a group chat or something. Like everybody decide the same week, the same Sunday. And the thing about it, so I was taking it personal. I said, man, this is ridiculous. And I talked to colleagues of mine, I call another pastor. So pastor may call me. Man, how was church today? I said, man, our partners was at the beach and at OBX water park and Busch Gardens. You can't beat them in the summertime. So we just had to learn throughout the years, like it is what it is. And we just got to know how to lean on the oil, lean on being chosen to do it. So God remind you a lot of times, like, look, I think one of my points again Sunday was that he the one that, what I said, my first point, like he the one pick you out, or like you have, and you, God decides, and you have nothing to do with what he decided. So being in that God decide part, man, listen to me, you will be frustrated, irritated, and you get God's like, God, why did you decide me? Why? And you know I was good at doing it. But God decide, y'all.
That's good.
So, how much? I'm just curious. How much strain does pastoring put on the marriage? Y'all, I love that y'all. It looks like y'all have very good communication skill. Yeah, I see it at the church and when y'all out and about. But that pressure has to reflect in the house some kind of way. How do y'all?
What was the question again? I want to make sure I just say it. Just repeat it for me.
How much strain is it on the marriage, pastoring?
Well, I want to, before I say anything about strain, I want to first say that I do feel like the entering of ministry helped our marriage in a lot of ways. I mean, we both individually had a good, strong relationship with God. Like I said, even before he was pastoring, he was in church every Sunday. We joined the Mount together. Well, he was a member and I joined later on. And we prayed together. We still had while he was saying he's good, he was good before being pastor, we still had God in our life and in our marriage. And that helped, I think, us both transition to the next step. I believe what we both maybe had incorrect in the beginning, for me especially, was that, okay, this is a couple times a week, right? Where, we're dedicating. I mean, we're already live for God. So that part hasn't changed. But, a couple times a week, we go in, this is, it's work. I hate to say it's anything. I feel some sort of guiltiness to say that it's work. It's God's work, but it's still work. It is very much requires your attention, your dedication, all of those things. And so, where we kind of initially thought like, okay, this is not a huge interruption. We already, we love God. We do. Now we're going to be leading people a couple times a week. And by the way, there wasn't a whole lot of people in the beginning. So this felt like it was going to be very manageable. But that is, I think that's one thing that we have to dispel. Ministry is every day. You think you're preparing for Wednesday. Well, you start preparing for Wednesday on Monday. Right. And you start preparing for Sunday. Wednesday night right. The day after that. And the administrative things that have to happen and the care that happens with the people, the calling, making sure everybody's good, making sure, the church is good, that the lights are on, that people are paid and that people are paid attention to, that you're calling partners. That becomes a day. It's every day. Praying for our partners is something we do very regularly, fasting and praying, so I would say, where we or I initially thought that this was going to be something that would be, a small part of the week that we have to manage. It is definitely every day. For strain, I can't say that it's caused a lot of strain. It's just required. It's just another piece that requires both of our attention. It requires us to partner in ways that we maybe had not yet, to consider each other and as we roll things out or as we decide to do things where, you know, entrepreneur over here, he does his thing, he decides all of the things for his businesses. I'm a boss where I work. I decide what I do for my company. This was very much maybe the first thing that we had to like really do together.
Lean on each other. Yeah.
So that's big.
That's
Yeah.
big.
We're to lean on, and one thing in our training, again, shout out to our bishop, is he really let us pastors know two things. That number one, we're not counselors. Like we don't know. So sometimes in certain situations, pastors need to be humble enough to send people to get the right, proper, official, trained help. Just because you know the Bible don't mean that you know somebody's mental.
Right.
I gotta say that again. Just because you know scriptures, because when somebody is going through a cuckoo for Cocoa Puff season in their life, the scripture's not even registering to what if they
life
place or whatever is going on. So you got to be humble enough to know that, hey, I need to get that to somebody that put you in better hands than mine. So we really had to lean on each other to trust each other as far as like, so I just knew to like, hey, so now I love to say 7 years now, I'd be like, they come to me in my office, Pastor, you think, hey, I pointed her office, you better go over there. We got an admin that we have at our church, and she beat me up like my wife does. Like she come in the office, Pastor, you said that you was gonna do. I'm like, oh my God. So between my wife's sidekick, as far as you know, helping us run this engine and making sure everything is straight, it's been a wonderful experience. But one thing I do want to say is that the reason why my wife don't feel so much strain that to the fact that is like affecting the marriage aspect of it is because I seen it been done wrong or inconsiderate for so many years that people have put the church before their wife, put the church before their kids. Man, this girl right here, we're going on a date 2 to 3 times a week. We foodies. If anybody need to go and try to figure out where they need to go eat at, inbox me, send me a message on Facebook. Where do you think I need to go? Because we go everywhere. It's not a restaurant in town. Because we date, we do things. And one thing I told God, so I did a spiritual contract with God, accepting my assignment. First thing is, God, I got to be me. I cannot. So y'all know me. Y'all in the church. I have not preached in a suit in 7 years. I don't like wearing suits. I wore a suit yesterday because I had to do a wedding. And it was funny because the bride, I married her daughter, and I had wore this African top, like, because I hate wearing suits. So I wore this African piece at her daughter wedding. She was like, look, so she called me about just random, like 2-3 weeks ago. She's like, look, hey, I'm about to get married. She said, Pastor, you doing our wedding? Please don't come in there with no African attire. I need you, can you wear a suit? So I said, okay, I got some for her. So I waited till they got dressed and everything. It was good to go inside. So her daughter, the one I married, we had everything set up. So her daughter had a camera ready and everything. And I walked in there wearing the piece that I wore to her daughter's wedding. I was like, all right, you ready to go? And she was like, oh my God. I mean, if y'all was there, it was priceless, y'all. So we try to turn moments like that to make fun, make us laugh, get through it. But again, what I try to do with my wife is have barriers of, like, I don't let ministry affect us but so much at home. Like, I just try to keep it, what's the word, compartmentalize it. I try to let church stay at church,
right,
and at home be at home. I want my kids to enjoy their life. I don't wear suits because I don't want to put on a costume and be a character. That's my mental state with it. I feel like dressing up for me to pastor, I feel like that's not my personal preference. So I meant my strength being me, and not being something of somebody
someone's idea.
The idea of what it's like.
Yeah.
My anointing is in my originality. That's what
That's good.
when I try to customize me to fit in a system of somebody else's way of approval, I'm just not that guy.
Right.
And so I would say if there's ever any strain at all, it's probably only just because of our differences in the way we manage in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where he's used to managing the way he does, I'm used to. So if I had to pick anything, that's probably the one difference. I may manage, or my idea of way something should go or how it should be done is different, and we kind of have to
hash it out. You got to hash it out a little bit.
Yeah, in your intro,
Slash, he usually wins.
No, that's not true. That's not true. In your intro, Kev, you said, "I am a straightforward guy," and I'm just that's my natural nature. I get it from my mom. My wife, I've learned in the last 15 years being with her, she showed me how to be so meaningful and still get it done. I may come off too strong at times, too it seemed like I'm inconsiderate or whatever the case may be. You say, oh, I got a witness in my church, you ain't gonna have that as you too. And so my wife, she just taught me, this is the word we use.
Politically correct.
Instead of politically correct, she taught me this word, how to fish.
Oh.
And how to fish, meaning that is so many ways that you can use different type of baits, and you can use nets, you can use different stuff to be able to reel people in and reel the idea of whatever the mission is. You can manage it differently and do it better. So did we lose y'all?
No, we here.
We here.
The picture just went out. Yeah, we here though.
Okay. So that's what she taught me. And I just
that's major.
Yeah.
Now that's one of them, as you can say, that's one of them teacher preachers right there. Because I'm a strong believer in, I used to talk to my wife about this when we would have our disagreements, arguments, fights, is I had to learn how to deliver the message, fish, to the receiver. Because when I was being myself, she wasn't receiving what I was saying because I was way too harsh and I was too blunt, too upfront. Mm-hmm. So I had to learn how to, okay, that bait of me being myself ain't working. Let me pad this thing down, because to this day, if I like that, my feelings are, let me just shut up, because we're not going to get anywhere at this point. So I pull the bait out the water and I wait till the waters are calm enough where I can throw the line back in there and be able to deliver the message, where in return, she delivers the message back to me so I can get the answer that I need from her. She likes to go in the circles, 50 million. She got 50 million words. I just want to get to the point. And I had to learn how to, I got to be sensitive. What was that word you told me about 2 weeks ago? Intentional. You know, in hearing what she has to say concerning whatever the situation is, so that she can get it off her chest and feels like the conversation is being equally talked about. And it's not just me saying everything and it's my way or whatever. She wants to equally feel a part. So I have to make sure that I'm intentionally listening, giving her the 50 words that she needs, even though I don't need them, giving her what she needs so we can both get the end result that we're both looking for.
Yeah, so true. I'm sure you all kind of got a lot, even running your business together, to differences of style.
So I know I'm on your platform, but I got a question for you.
Let's go.
So how is it going home, waking up, going to work, going home, all together? Like there's no come up for air that Kev can look up and just be in a Kev space, and you can be in a Tanya space without, because every time I see y'all, I always see Ted and Sherry. What was that group? PD and CC. I just always see this.
Go ahead.
Okay, so here's the proper answer for you. I love, and this is really true. From the first day she said, I want to be your girlfriend, to the time she said she wanted to be my wife, to 24 years later, I've always wanted to do everything with her. I didn't want space from her. I wanted to always be in her space. When it came to opening up our business for the first time, my just like what you were saying, our styles of understanding and styles of leadership was so different. I mean, I was very Army, militant. This is how it go, whatever. And I started tearing my wife down instead of building her up. My daughter as well. I was tearing them down, but that was my style of doing things. So then it started bringing separation when I want you right, like what we are now. I never wanted there to be any type of space between us. I wanted her all the time with me. But then I learned that sometimes we need that space. So when we open up the second location, we had the separation grows. What's that quote? You get fonder, your mind gets fonder when you're not together, whatever.
Oh,
so when you do come together, you see that I love when she used to walk through the door, Lady A, when she walked through the door after being gone from 5 or 6, 7 hours. I have this gleam, even to this day, I have this gleam in my eye, but then we still have the moments of being husband and wife that works together, sleeps together, intimate together, conversate together, all those things without separation. And then sometimes I think she has separation anxiety away from me.
Mm-hmm.
That she won't argue and bring it together
so much, it's kind of like, where are you at? I need you next to me right now, just like fall Where are you?
I think, like anything, it has its ups and the downs. A lot of times, issues or situations become a blur, where home life is work life, is church life. It's all one, and we just. It's no separation. It's no separation in what we do, how we do it, or where we go. So it has its ups and downs, but we've gotten to the place where separation is good.
Mm-hmm.
It's needed. I can't be him. I have to be myself. He can't be me. He can't think like me. He has to be. So we've gotten to the place where we can be two individuals together.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah.
And it ain't easy.
Not easy.
So I'm always in build work mode. 24. I wake up at 8, but I don't go to bed to 3:30 and 4.
Wow.
I'm always working on the what's next. I'm always looking at the what's next. How do we get this going? Like I said, we're working on this. We're trying to look at another location, trying to get the systems together so we can franchise the brand, all these things. So my mind is always working because I tell all the time, God only gave one of us the vision. And because I'm the visionary, I'm trying to always put the pieces of the puzzle together. But God told me, this was 10 years ago. It was about 10 years ago. I don't know if Antoine, I haven't told you this. Maybe we talked about it once, and it just because it was so long ago, I gave you the time frame of what God said concerning the business. And God told me by the time I turned 50, I was supposed to release her from the business side of things. And just 2 weeks ago, I turned 50 in February. 2 weeks ago, we released her from the business, so she no longer has to step foot. She don't even have to wake up in the morning if she don't want to. She can stay at home. She can do whatever it is.
I love it.
Wow.
Got to the point now where
that is a blessing.
That is a blessing.
Yes.
We're still on God's timing. God has shown me so many things, and sometimes I try to put pressure on God by jumping the gun, which leaves her in a state of, are you going to take me with you kind of thing? Because your mind is, I'm 50 different places, and I might tell you I need this done, but I'm already 2-3 years down the line already, and I've left her behind a little bit. So that has been some of the struggles with that. But I think now that she's able to stay home, do whatever it is that she wants, I don't even bother. I tell my staff, we had a staff meeting yesterday. I told the leadership team that if it's dire need, reach out to her. If it's not dire need, let her have her space, let her have her time. If she want to come in, she want to see what's going on in the business, she has every right to, because she is the owner. But outside of that, I want her to have her freedom to, about to be 53 years old. Have your freedom to go and make friends. Maybe y'all can go to lunch one day or something, Pastor, or you know what I'm saying, or something like that, and just enjoy being a housewife of Virginia Beach.
Housewives of Hampton Roads.
Yeah. And then, but she do have the responsibilities of some of the day-to-day works, like the numbers or something like that. But that can take an hour or two. You got 22 hours to do whatever it is that you want to do. Right. And now when I come home, I can get more of her empty attention that she allowed me to fill her up with whatever it is I need to fill her up with, right? And that's not even talking on the intimacy side of it, just the conversations of, man, I've missed you all day. I didn't have to deal with hustles and bustles of you fussing and the everyday life of trying to build a brand. And now I'm just empty, and I want to just be filled with whatever it is you want to fill me with. So that's where we at right now.
That's awesome. I didn't even know y'all transitioned. So that was a great. I know I'm on y'all show, but I had to ask y'all that question. But I didn't know that was all. It was a meant to ask question because I didn't know y'all was already transitioned. But I said something again on Sunday that remember I preached. Say something.
Say something.
And then you saying God said something to you, and ain't nothing like other but being in the presence of what he said.
What he said. You talking good, right?
And it happened. You know what I'm saying? Because he said it. So you got a lot of that's other thing too. When you talk about so that's one of our biggest things that we make sure that in this walk that we know for a fact that hey, before we even took this mantle, we know that God said it. Because if you're there, you can be there, and if God don't show up to meet you there, you're doomed before you get started.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And so we just try to build the foundation, like whoever God sent there. We don't do a lot of like advertisement, and when I first started, before I think pandemic kind of like beat all this stuff out of me. I used to run commercials and hey, meet us. I used to sound like a robot, it was muscle memory.
I remember
Sunday. Hey, bro. After pandemic, I'm like this. Clear eyes. Clear eyes for dry eyes. Like y'all, you want to come, we'll be there.
We'll be there.
And so it's certain things we did. So I got to give you this one. Okay, so my wife was like, babe, I think you need to cut our live stream. I'm like, what? That's today's age. That's what it shifted to. Like, I can't cut the live stream. We put all this money into, because it was, everybody started off with just somebody in the church with a little regular cell phone. And you the thing echoing, your lips ain't matching and all that stuff. And then we started going online and finding different systems out there, and we paid thousands of dollars to the system so we could have a good live stream that people can be excited about, saying, hey, this is our church. We did a lot of remodeling. We changed the stage. We bought this expensive LED wall. I was like, well, if we're gonna go live, we got to look like, we got to look right. So we bought this $30,000 LED wall, which thank God we paid it off a few months ago. Man, that's been. She did the money side. That money?
No, it's not
okay. I mean, that's money too. But we thank God. God blessed us to be able to pay it off as a ministry, and thank God. Shout out to the River of Life Partners for doing a thing with that and sewing into it, and we just knocked it out. And that. So it'd be moments like that. We're going into a pandemic that's unknown. I want the wall, babe. That's not a good investment at this hour. Well, I want the wall. So we're gonna have a wall, and we had a restaurant with a couple of our other leaders, and they're like, Pastor, we got to get the people back in church. And if you and so my wife said you cannot be offended for the handicap of what you, because you're the one that's providing the handicap.
Yep.
It was something like down that round. I may missing the
word.
word.
Going with it, yep.
Something like down that lines, like. You can't be the one that's giving it to them and then be offended that they choosing that option. Take away that option, and if they are assigned to you, and they want to hear you come, the word that God give you, they will come in that building to hear you. And I had to walk by faith word, because I'm telling you, my faith was,
lady, hey, let's go. And
literally, And literally from me just being faithful. So that's another thing too, when you're in ministry, like you can't be the one that always, I know that when everything, if life hit the fan, I know I got one person I can count on that's going to be beside me saying, are we punching or are we shooting? Like, which one are we doing?
We going in?
But I know if I turn my back, I know somebody's back going to be behind mine. This chick right here is going to be behind mine, swinging her Chicago fists in the air, trying to fight for us to get through whatever we're getting through. So I had to trust her. You know, that was the biggest thing that I had to really say, you know, look, I gotta trust my wife, and I gotta believe, even though I didn't want to do it. I said, I'm gonna trust you, babe. And I said, I stood up one Sunday morning and I was like, hey, for all the ones that's logged on, anybody love the live stream, hey, this is our last day in doing our live stream. And people was like, I was like, yeah, this is our last day. And we have had some crazy numbers, man. Like it was thousands. I mean, we have had thousands and thousands of people like looking at our live stream, and throughout the time, you know, throughout the years, and but we pulled the plug, and guess what? And you know what too? I can truly say it made me back free again, because I felt like live stream, it keeps you boxed in, because you got to keep in mind that you got a live studio audience. And number one, too, and the other thing is that they're not looking that long, but you still want to make sure your presentation, whatever they do, click in. You want to make sure that things are correct. Y'all know I'm crazy. You know, I say certain things that don't need to be on live stream. You know what I'm saying? So, but soon we cut those cameras off, I was able to be free. I was like, you know what? So going back to the suits, I don't feel institutionalized. I don't feel that I got to be politically correct. I just can go have fun and go for it. Aim for the fences.
Mm-hmm.
So listen to my wife, listening to your partner is
gotta love them.
Gotta love them.
Right. Lady A, I got a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there pressure being the first lady?
Absolutely.
What? I was messing with you.
Yeah, yes. I feel like, and again, I kind of mentioned, you know, I've been a leader in my world for a long time. And so I know that there's a shadow of the leader, right? You have to be mindful of who's watching you, coming. You know, leave it to my husband. He want me to come in at noon every day because I'm the boss. Like, no, because then everybody else will be thinking they can come in at noon every day. And I need some people there at 8:30, 9 o'clock, you know. So, you know, I think one of the biggest things is that the light is just never off of you. You know, even when you're not in church on whatever day of the week, or it's not a church event, I can be out to dinner with a girlfriend, and I have to be aware that there may be a partner or someone who knows me from this world, you know, that now that's pressure, right? In any other situation, you're out with your girlfriend, your friends, your sister, your husband, you know, whatever, you think it's downtime. You know, when I'm at work, if I'm not at work, then I do take the leadership cap off, and I am Aisha, you know. And I feel like one thing about ministry is that I'm always a child of God. I'm always walking in his image, and I have to always be aware that there may be someone who knows that about me. And now that responsibility is on me to draw people to Christ, right? That's our goal, is to bring people to Christ. And so I have to always be aware of my actions, even if I don't know who the person is in the room that's across the way. I don't even know they're in there. I have to be aware that it could be there. And my actions have to mirror someone who wants to come be a part of God, a part of this, not just our ministry, but just, you know, God is good, and I'm walking in his image, and I want you to know he's a good, he's going to do right for you. And, you know, I have to just be aware that anything that I do or say, my behavior, the glass of wine I want to order, let's be real, you know, like anything that I might want to do, I have to be aware that this thing could be something that across the room, this may be someone that could draw someone away from Christ. And that's not my goal. My goal is to bring people to Christ. Right. So that leadership hat, even when you're not in, you know, the typical locations, still has to be worn. And so that's pressure to be, you know, 24/7, you know, and I'm being myself. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to always be me. You know, Pastor mentioned we don't try to front. There's things, you know, that we want to be ourselves and know that you can love God and be yourself. You don't have to have on a suit to love God. You know, I can have a glass of wine and still love God, but I still have to be mindful of who's around. And that's just constant pressure.
So when we first started,
be aware all the time.
When we first started, it was something real. I grew up around it, and so I was kind of accustomed to it. But she was like, "Look, I'm used to being from out of town. I'm not. This is not my land.
No one knows me.
Nobody knows me here. So she could be in a random spot, and somebody like First Lady, and she'd be like, "What? Like I'm not used to this type of." And so that's. But now she's gotten over 7 years now. She's gotten good now.
That's major pressure, though. I mean, I used to tell Tonya all the time. Kiana is who I was really training up from 12, 13, now 19 as parents. That we were training her that everybody. I mean, you're a brand now, and you have to always represent your brand, no matter what and where you are. And that's the same thing as being in this leadership role. Or me, people think that I am the figurehead of our business. I created the business, I created the brand, but I built it around my daughter. But when they see me out, that's everywhere, that's J&K. And then you always got to be cognizant of the things you do. And I made a promise to my mother. This was when we opened the restaurant up the first time. She educated me on always keep your name clean, always be able to raise your hands in innocence, even if somebody speak ill will, just be able to say, well, these hands are clean. And now over the time that when it comes up, somebody else who you may not know can defend your character because they know how you act when the cameras are not around, or when you're not at church and you're out with your girlfriends, or you're out with pastor or whatever it is, or with my wife. Ain't nobody gonna run up to the table and say, I saw you doing this, or I heard you. Right. Nah, my name is too good. I teach my daughter that when you're going out and about at 19, you're gonna start doing some crazy stuff eventually. Always keep in mind that you are a brain. We cross our fingers that it don't be too radical.
Absolutely.
But
absolutely.
There's going to be something. Even my wife.
19.
I'm 19, right?
2022.
29, 35. I didn't grow up to 37.
Amen.
I didn't mature to 37, so I know how it is. But I've been trying to coach her, and like my wife, like when she's out and about, and she's behind the scene more, so a lot of people don't know her as much as they know us. But I want her to, when they do notice her, that she represents our brand, and the hat never comes off. As long as you J&K or whatever it is they see you, or First Lady, the hat never comes off, and you do have to be. I bet that's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure. Sometimes, like the incident y'all wanted to fight at the restaurant a couple weeks ago, I'm sure somebody was really to TMZ, y'all. I know they would. They were ready to say them pastors over there caused a riot in this restaurant.
Oh, they want it. Some people egg it on, don't they?
Yeah,
like you a pastor, they want to cuss you out just to see.
So and
how strong you gonna hold to it?
And that piece, well, to explain to the audience, it was a person in the restaurant that was very disrespectful to my wife and I. So I was tested, but because I didn't move how the enemy wanted me to move, I believe we passed the test. To make a long story short, but I do want to say that that's the part that is unfair to be in ministry, that you supposed to not be human when it come down to how you supposed to respond to certain things. And they got to understand that the way it will offend you, it's supposed to offend us the same way. The way it hurts you, it will hurt us the same way. So it just be just certain things, man. Just like even in 7 years, people have came and gone. You know, another two, church is like a bus stop. There's always somebody getting on. There's always somebody getting off. Okay, so that's another two. You got to always keep those little nuggets like that in your heart, because that's what gets you through. And then just people just want to say, you know, then the media thing, the platform, everybody want to talk to each other, subliminal messages. They know that you up there, you watching it, you seeing it. But if you respond, you know, you're not supposed to say nothing. I mean, to me, it's just the requirements that, or the bubble that people want to like put a pastor. I'm the wrong guy. You disrespect me, I'm a swing you. I'm gonna punch you in the face. I mean, and I tell my churches all the time. So nobody, and I told them, I said, the problem with me is that when you hear anything from me, mine's probably be about true. Because I mean, I'm not gonna be, because when I think this is what I'm saying, because I'm not gonna let a app or a personality of somebody else run and make my life miserable while they get to go move and however they want to move and do whatever they want to go. Apples to stay in this bubble like we not here. No, we're on the same earth with you as it is in heaven. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. So y'all crazy. But I done moved.
Hey, First Lady, did Pastor ever tell you about the time I thought I was gonna have to choke him out the car?
No, though I'm
this
not.
Was I think it came up. There was a couple of sermons ago where you were talking about timing, and I got to thinking. I said, man, because we laughed about it later. I had to apologize to him because everything he said was right. It was the wrong time.
Right word, wrong time.
Remember when the AC unit went out?
Oh, you were bad about it.
The landlord said to me, well, y'all need to pay $30,000 to get the AC unit fixed. I said, man, I ain't paying no 30 grand for nothing I don't own. So it was like 100 degrees in here. And here come your husband strolling in. Can't, man, it's hot in here, man. What you gonna do about this heat in here, man? Them employees can't. You're right, man. I'm trying to figure it out, man, but this ain't the right time to be.
Talk to me about it.
That's not what made you mad. What made you mad was everybody was saying it was hot. So just because I said it was hot, that's not what made you mad. I remember it. What made you mad was I said, but it's your responsibility.
My responsibility. You're right.
I said, so regardless of your building or not, I said, this is your brand that you got to invest in. You don't want people to be riding around town saying, we're not going to go there because what it does is it represents that the owners don't care, even though it's not the story. I know that you do, and you got to wait for, I was about to call the name out, but you got to wait for who you're releasing from, which I used to release from them over 20 some years. You got to wait on them to move it. And it was, especially when you're in the heat of summer, 3 weeks and all that, and 4, you know how it go. We got to put the order in. We got to order it, man. That is miserable, and people about to die and all that stuff inside it. So I was just telling you, I said, Kev, you got to look at it from a different lens. You cannot look at it as that. You can't make it be about the landlord and about the building. You got to make it be about your brand, and that right there. So I left like that, but boy, you could have fried.
I was fish grease hot.
I want to hear that.
Because what he was saying was, I already knew it. I was trying to figure it out. Like, man, what we going? Back then, the business was still starting to catapult, so the funds wasn't as available as they are now. So I'm trying to 30,000. Let me look for these things. Let me try to figure it out. And I was doing it. I had to figure it out on my own because my wife was doing other stuff. So I had to figure out where we're gonna get the money, how we're gonna do it, how we're gonna do. And then he came up and like I told him, everything you said was right. It just was the wrong.
I want to hear it right now.
and look,
so I was gonna be out
there. And the funniest part of the story for me now is now you got too much air inside the building. They can't even turn on all the units. they out there in the heart of August. They turn the units off. I think
something we should have invested in a long time ago. Yeah.
Look at God.
Right.
All right, look, we better get off here, man. I knew we was gonna be on here long, man. Talking about y'all. I love it, man. Thank you guys so much. Here's the last thing, man. We're gonna get off, man. This is for both of y'all. What are 3 strengths to a healthy marriage, and how do you display that to your congregation? What does a congregation see, and what are 3 strong points to a healthy marriage?
We agree. Communication.
Of those who've been married 7 years and been together 15.
Yeah.
We've
So
been
I would
together
say
15.
one is communication.
We've been together. We've been married for how long?
13.
13.
Oh, 13. Oh, 7 is the church. 7 is the church. I'm sorry.
Church, yeah.
Right? 12 or 13 years.
13 years. Okay. Yeah.
Y'all just getting out the fight stage then.
Yeah. Well, no, she's not really no fighting personality like that. So she's not very challenging. That's one thing I'm grateful, because if we had 2 lions in the same, and then I would be in front of Judge Maybelline. The divorce lawyer. We wouldn't be able to make it. We wouldn't be able to make it at all. But communication is communication, consideration. And my mama taught me something that was very important. She said to me when I was a little boy, I remember like it was yesterday. She said, you got to hear what your wife is not saying. And that really shifted.
My mama said the exact same thing. Exact word, verbatim. Exactly.
Wow. And my mama poured that into me. So to the point, I'd be so in tune with her. She could take a breath a certain way. And I know her breath means, it got a meaning to it. I know how it sounds when she's tired. And I know how it sounds when she's thinking about something and can't figure it out. It ain't shaking off of her. She got a certain, and I'm like, babe, come on, let's go. Like, communicate what we got going on here. You know what I'm saying? So those are the 2 things right now. We got to get the 3rd one. They said 3 things. So we got communication
and consideration.
Consideration.
Take your boo out. That's number 3. You have to keep, and maybe that's not out for everybody, right? But I believe it helps when you, my grandmothers, talk about grandmothers, used to say, how you get them is how you got to keep them, right? So if you started out complimenting me and, showing me a good time or praying with me, whatever, for every individual is going to be different. However you started out, if that's what got you, let's keep that up and keep it going so that you don't lose the spark, that you have opportunities to still be connected in ways when business and marriage and life is life. And, I feel like it gives you a home base. Like, let's get back to home base and let's do some home base things, so you can remember why you're here in the first place when there's so many things that can distract you from that fact.
That's good.
When y'all first got married, you guys are a blended family, correct?
We are.
Yes.
Yeah.
So here's where I think our struggle was when we first got together. Remember, the timeline was really fast. We got married quick. But I had 2 sons at the time, and she had 2 daughters. So when we came together, our first date was at the zoo with all the kids. So our first encounter up until Kiana just graduated high school was family. We never had a chance to date. We had a little bit of the fun times trying to explore one another, the wrestling and the walk in the house. You got a blanket on with some fruit or whatever. But that only lasted for the moment because the kids started growing up and the responsibilities of parenthood kicked in. And then we end up having Kiana, which was 10 years after the kids were starting to revisit parenthood, and never really had a chance to explore dating, just like what you said. So, and then it was all business, mama, daddy, business, and date night was taking the kids to the Golden Corral because 2 of the kids eat for free with 1 parent. So that was
hey man, get that discount.
So we're in the stage now of, and it sounds ironic that we lasted 24 years without a dating life, because it was so rare to do it. Military, restaurant, I was doing 50 hours a week, military full-time student. She was a full-time student trying to do military as well. And I'm being shipped to Iraq and all those things, and then having to come back to be parent, and then no communication, not knowing how to talk to each other. And this was years. And then I cheated. In the first 5 years, I think I cheated twice out of ignorance, and I had to deal with that side of things. So she cut me off from a lot of stuff. We had to battle through those things. So now at stage 23 and 24, we're getting to the dating stage, the conversation stages, the laughing stages. I don't know if you saw a post I put out today. What do you like or love about your spouse? It's these things. I love the walks and the talk about. I want to talk about nothing. I don't want to talk about what we're doing now. I want to be able to walk and have conversation about nothing and laugh about anything, or go to the zoo, revisit the zoo, because I love the zoo. I think the zoo is probably one of the most romantic, to me, dates you can ever have, because it's just you and your spouse. We're walking around with no distractions. We go and we can lean on the rails and look at the animals, do whatever they're going to do. Maybe eat some stale popcorn in the midst of laughing, generally having conversations. I love the picnics. I love the walks on the beach, but we never really had a chance to experience those things that we're now entering into now. But now we're in grandparent stage. We got 14 grandparents.
That's awesome.
So we're in grandparent stage, but luckily our grandchildren don't live in the area. They're 8 hours away. So now it's time to start dating. And that's why I felt like God opened up the door for us to release her for the moment, because my mind is still here trying to build this so I can hand it over to Kiana, but give her the freedom to miss her husband and put stuff together while I'm out here trying to create and trying to build and trying to put the systems together and all these things. She can be at home and not be bothered by nothing. So when I get home, she can have the blankets on the ground and on the bedroom floor with the fruit or something. We can watch TV or something like that, or make a date night or something.
Yeah, her mind is free.
There you go. Her mind is not distracted or pounded with the everyday life. Enjoy your life. So when I get home from this long day of work, I can also be relaxed, because my mind, when I get in her presence, I can empty myself. It's easy to empty myself, but everybody can't do that. I can empty myself because I want her to be filled with me and vice versa. Now, I also want to catch hold to that, play husband and wife too. So if everyday life is empty, then it's easier to add the intimacy side of things without the let me just do this so I can fall asleep type thing.
Yeah, yeah. Right. We call it duty booty. That's the word. That's the worst. That's the word. Like, it's my duty here. Like,
yeah.
You don't want that. I'm with you.
But that's true. That's a true statement that a lot of people are skeptical to speak about. But it's a true thing. It's just, I'm your wife. I don't want you to go out here and do it with nobody else. So I'm gonna give you this when it has no meaning at this moment, because you didn't make it any meaning, kind of thing. So it just falls apart, and it's just something to do.
So what I do like about like hearing y'all's story and the phase that y'all are in at this hour is that created a new spark. You know, now you go home with a whole different meaning. Like, you're excited to go see her, like all that. She's excited to whatever she prepared or prepped or whatever y'all gonna do. So it is a whole nother palette light that's lit in y'all union. I do want to say this to you. The Bible says, without a vision, the people perish. And what we did as a church, we only use that scripture based upon preachers leading people. But it's not only just talking about leadership leading people. If you are a husband that you playing 2K all day and you don't have no drive, no ambition, you don't have no plan, and your wife don't see that. So what she end up doing is she begin to perish from you because she's watching you without a vision. So the other day, my wife was like, she said something to me, and I didn't even tell her. I'm telling her now that how much it blessed me. I said, babe, I said, this is what I got going. These are the things, and this is what's happening. And we got this coming up in the New Year, the Christmas thing. And I said, babe, and then I got a new contract I'm about to get. I'm like, look, I'm just blah, 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 blah. And I said, how do you feel about it? And she said, I love that you have vision for us, for our family. And I was like, what? And the scripture just came right back in my mind again, because nobody wants to follow a parked car.
That's good.
That's good.
Nobody wants to follow a parked car. And so if you park your life, a lot of people in couples and marriages park themselves in the marriage, and your wife or your husband is getting bored to death with you because you feel like I done got mines and I don't have to, like she just said, and like her grandma told her, and you're not moving to keep it. You're not doing the same things you did that when you was, in a hunt to get her, or
right,
in a hunt to get him. You got to keep that stuff going on, man. And so I'm just a firm believer. And if anybody up here listening today and looking at the video today, that's what might be one of the main keys that I want to drop that nugget into you, is maybe you need to pick up your vision in where you're trying to take your family. Like, stop being complacent in that apartment. Stop being complacent in Ubering and lifting and far as that's the way you get around. That's the way you got to keep going to the app, and that's your car. Stop being complacent the way you are, and ask God, I'm seeking vision of where can I take my family and also my life to the next dimension. I want to leave you that nugget today before we close on this wonderful.
That was a good nugget. That was a good nugget.
Lady A, you got a nugget you want to leave before we get off?
I'm good. I'll let the pastor close out. That's
Ah! Hey, make sure he'll get one closing.
I don't want to extend the close.
That's why this works. That's why this works right here, Kim. I told you and that's another thing too.
Second close.
This is my second close. Preachers, stop trying to make your wife preach. If God called you to the assignment, I always make sure I tell my wife, God told me to do it. God never told Twan, you and your wife. He said, Twan, this is what you got to go do. And what he did was, I awarded you a helpmate while you go do it. But I don't put the pressures up. It was 7 years. My wife haven't said, open up a scripture in 7 years, because that's not what I asked her to do. That's not what I don't put that stress and pressure over her to do
my
it.
ministry.
That's not her ministry. But listen to me. But every moving piece of the ministry, you see that wall flipping, you see this happening, this going on, it's food over here, it's got this going on, the back of this. Blah, 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 blah. She's the whole engine of the whole operation. All I got to do is say, open your Bible. What I say Sunday, lift your hands. But I'm done. I can talk all night.
Listen here, I can second that. Anything you see going. Now I designed majority of what you see, but she puts it in place. Now the major stuff, the systems and all those things, I have no clue about. I can come in and say, I need this, and this to do this, and this. And then within the next 30, 45 minutes, I like to move fast. She said, well, here's the prototype. Let's see what else you want to add to it. So I feel what you're saying on that, man. I don't have to do a whole lot. I don't have to do a whole lot of here. I created what we're going to do, and then I hand it off to the boss.
That's it.
And you hear me say, man, we got to reach out to Tanya. Go see what Tanya say.
Because
Yes.
God bless the man that findeth a wife. Tell him, sis.
It's talking good. So you know in Proverbs 31. So you know in Proverbs 31, the key part of that whole thing is that the husband is able to be able to operate the vision, because the wife is in the back making the vision happen. All I got to do is deliver. This is what I need, sweetheart. This is what I see God doing. I'm going to go out here and start this, but I need you to do this. That's why he was able to be seen in the city amongst his peers the way he was, and the wife was representing him in the background, because she was the one catapulting him to what his true calling was, the true vision. He would have never got to the vision. He would have never got to the vision if his wife if he didn't have a.
So true.
everything that she do, which made us look good.
Mhm.
Made us look good out here. My wife made me look good. And listen, I ain't as handsome as I used to be, but she made me look
That was funny.
hey, Pastor, they be saying, Kev, man, how you get that pretty girl that's at the front counter right there? I said, Doc, I know how to talk, Doc. I know how to give vision. I know she want to follow the vision, Doc.
Yes, Lord.
That's funny.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on here with me. Man, I could go another hour with y'all, man. I
Yes.
knew it was gonna be like this, man.
Yes.
Can't wait to see what God has in store for what's going to happen at the ministry. I'm excited. I know y'all be saying sometimes. Well, y'all hear Tanya now. So now when you got Tanya to be able to say something in the church and ministry now, man, and she loud like that, oh, you got it, Doc. You don't listen. Hey, listen, Pastor, he done fish the end. I be watching and be looking like, because I like to watch people and see how they react to certain things and see how order falls in place before I even interact. A lot of times that's just my military backing. I think what it is. I sit and I observe things, observe people, and all those things because I never want to be offensive to anybody. I never want to come off a certain kind of way. Being big and black sometimes, man, anything you say and do could be offensive, or anything like that, man. I just really want to learn the heart of the people that are under the ministry, and we're grateful that you guys allotted and afforded us the opportunity to join the ministry. And listen, our hands are ready. I'm gonna put that out there now. That the hands are ready. The feet are ready to walk. Just like you said, we're ready to take the steps. So whatever it is that y'all desire for the Dooleys to assist in, whatever it is, if you need me to come sweep the church, I'll come put these hands together. I ain't swept the restaurant in probably like 4 years. But I'll come sweep the church, take the trash out.
Yes. Well, we are excited. We are excited to have you all. One thing I like about it is that you all already have been operating in this space. Yeah. So, and it just works out. Like I always say this part too, is that anybody that do move on and do leave or whatever, what God has shown us in 7 years, if somebody leave out because the better is right behind them. So he always knows, because some people celebrate the fact that he just replenished, but I always look at the upgrade of the replenish. Like don't let me get the same year car model and make in the same color. Even if I get the same car, let me show me the new amenities and the newer version of even the same car. So with you saying that, we excited to watch what God do with y'all at our ministry together at the River of Life. For the audience is looking in one of the church, the River of Life, VA. We in Chesapeake, Virginia, 730 Fink Lane. I'm doing a commercial there, Kevin. 730. Listen, everybody, listen. But we looking forward to you all running our marriage ministry. We are so excited about that. Come on, audience, y'all can give them a round of applause with that. We're looking forward to y'all running the marriage ministries. We're looking forward to your outings and anything you want to do in-house, out-house, or whatever we're doing. We're looking forward to whatever God put in your heart. And we're excited to see exactly, because we want to see our couples be empowered by seeing other Christian couples get stronger, can see that we can be Christians and still have fun and all that good stuff. So we're excited to see what God can do with you all through the ministry. Yeah.
Appreciate it, man. Hey, listen, we're finna get off here. Well, I'm Kelvin.
I'm Tanya.
And we're the Dooleys. I got to slow it down, Pastor A. All right, listen, y'all have a good night, man. It's marriage, business, and ministry. And listen, we out, man. Peace out. Thank y'all for helping us. Peace out.
Peace out. See y'all.
This was fun.
Yeah, good. Let's go.